Welcome to a Little Help Podcast, where understanding life cycles can lead to bigger and better changes. Hi, I'm back. We got Mignon in the house.
Now listen, okay. Before we get started, I need you to decide what you gonna tell these people my name is. Is it Mignon or is it Minnie?
It could be Snow.
Oh, wait a minute. You giving too much personal information.
You used to be called Pumpkin.
I need you to pick one.
Which one do you like? Which one do you want? Minnie, Mignon, Snow. What you want? Anyway, Minnie.
Lord Ham.
Okay, you guys, we stopped on talking about things I was going through while dating.
The things you were going through
My
while
ex,
married.
my husband, my marriage, she want to pick back up.
I mean, you can't leave the people hanging. We talked about the dating portion. We talked about the marriage portion. And, they need to know that now you're divorced. So, what you want to tell them about your divorce? What happened? Let's start there. What happened?
Well, you know what? Throughout the whole little spiel, throughout the whole dating, throughout everything, as you all know, it was a back and forth thing. It was a back and forth thing. Things would get great, perfect, and and then all of a sudden, boom, something else happened. So it was a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And
back and forth, like you say something else happened, like consistent infidelity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he did like to drink, and he hang out, and and like I said, one thing about him is he had the day job where he was in real estate, so he didn't have to punch a clock.
Right.
So it was easy to do whatever you wanted to do during the day. So it made it look like you were the good man, the good, husband, or whatever we were at the time.
Essentially, work hard, play hard
because you weren't out all night. So you didn't see that. Well, why you not coming home? Why you not, because you did what you wanted to do during the day.
Okay.
So you would never think, that anything was going on.
Still managed to pick me up from school.
Had time to pick you up.
That was crazy.
I mean, but if you leave out at 8-something, 9 o'clock in the morning going to work, you got out of school at what time? 2:30, 3 o'clock?
2:45.
You got a lot of time. I'm at work. You in school. You got a lot of time to do what you want to do during the day.
Okay.
Yeah. And something that was I found out later on that was crazy to me is, how I told you he would go to the ambets and stuff and, be amongst his friends and, a lot of people up there he knew. It was like a whole little party club up there. Everybody knew everybody.
It was a club full of veterans.
And
they was kicking it.
Yeah, they were. And to come to find out, I remember one person saying, I never knew he was married. That was like, which told me, so you're going up there taking your wedding ring off. I mean, that kind of.
Y'all had some nice rings.
We went from there till we had some nice rings.
I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to take it off. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That kind of made me feel some kind of way, when I heard that later on,
Okay.
After everything was said and done. And something else that really tripped me out, one of my close friends, had told my mom that he was up there and, in women's faces and messing around and everything. But what was funny to me is like, you told my mom.
Why you ain't tell me? You my friend.
Whoop.
What? He or she your real friend?
She. I was like, wow. But you didn't come say nothing to me. Yeah. But, as time went on, things got better and then things got worse, He really, really started going down when his nephew passed away. He just felt some kind of way responsible because he always felt like he was the father figure of everybody, the big uncle, take care of.
He was.
You know, and when that happened, he just started really going down. He started going, towards drugs, something I had never seen. Never seen, never known of him, the more drinking, the more, and I remember a time I was sitting I was in the bedroom and he was sitting on the edge of the bed and I didn't understand. I'm in the mirror and I kind of can see him in the mirror and he had on a white t-shirt, as you all have them t-shirts.
His wife beater?
Yeah.
All the time.
And he would just pick at it and I'm like he was picking bugs or something off of it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it was like he was like spaced out, So that was an incident. And then, another incident had happened in the restroom and I just kept seeing things and I'm like, is he sick? Is he getting ill? Is he I don't know.
It's like you become concerned. Like out of nowhere. Like you are shifting so much so quickly. What's really going on?
What? Because he kept doing stuff out of character. And I talked to a girlfriend about it and I told her, I said, I would mention to her all the things that was happening and things that he was doing. And I told her, I said, I know that if he gets sick, if something happens to him, I would not be able to take care of him.
How'd you land there?
Because of everything that he had done to me.
News to me.
I felt like you didn't care enough about me. Dating, through the marriage, you never upheld me. You never respected me. I've always felt like I was being disrespected by him. So how can you take care of someone that disrespected you, throughout everything? Those were my feelings.
I mean, I'm kind of taken aback because I always felt like out of the significant relationships you've had in your life, you probably loved him the most.
Absolutely. But how can you, I feel like when a couple gets married, you take on that last name, and I upheld that last name,
for a long time.
I upheld that last name, but I'm carrying your last name and you're constantly disrespecting me. And I took on your name. I took on you. And I felt like I was totally disrespected throughout the marriage. Had I been taken care of the way I should have been taken care of, I would have been there for him 100%. That's the person that I am because you've seen me when people get ill or when people get sick. You know that about me.
So you feel like if he was, spiritually speaking, like the protector and provider, you would.
And not only of the nieces and the nephews and the kids. What about me? Where did you uphold me? Where were you my head? Where were you, taking care of me and respecting me in the streets? And I didn't feel that. So I knew that if something was to happen to him, it's like, how can I take care of somebody that never took care of me?
And you started to feel like this and talk to your friend about this when you started noticing like the little odd behavior.
I started noticing stuff. I started, I said, I just felt like I can't do this. I felt like I couldn't do it. And
so does that mean that even if you hadn't found out, like we ain't got to what happened yet, even if that hadn't happened, do you feel like you still would have been moving towards divorce?
I'm sure I would have, because he never stopped. He never stopped the infidelity. He never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because even after we did divorce, and he had, we getting further ahead of the game, but I ended up hearing later on that even after after me, he remarried, that he was still cheating.
That to me, like,
so it never stopped.
As a therapist, I always think there's something deeper there. There's a reason why you can't shake this behavior. Unfortunately, we'll never know from him specifically, but
and knowing how he did feel about me, we knew how he felt about me, but it was something that he could not shake. It's something that he couldn't stop doing. So, yeah, I ended up feeling that way.
So you were feeling that way, and then, but you still stayed. And then
stayed for a while.
What happened for you to be like, enough is enough? This is it. I'm out.
I was at work, and the day before, I told him, I said, I need you to take my car to get an emissions test. And he said, okay, just, make that happen, So cool. I took his, I think I took his car. He took mine, whatever, how we did it. And he had took you to school that morning. And he has his button downs buttoned all the way to
every button all the way to the top. Can you breathe, brother? Damn.
So he had taken you to work. I went on to school, and I had went on to work. And they had this thing that they call, you do your route. Oh, you got a little free time, so I'm gonna give you a half an hour. They call it pivot, that you do a half hour on the street or block, whatever, that you ain't getting paid for.
Oh, wait a minute.
They do it, and they still do it at the post office. Yes.
Not me, not today.
Oh, they give you hour pivots. Yeah, they still complaining about that. But anyway, so I was headed, at work, and I left. It's like, okay, cool. Let me get on up out of here. I'm going ahead and do this pivot first. Just so happened that my pivot was on our block.
Your route was our block for a while, like in that area for a while.
In the area. But at that time, it wasn't there.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't there. I think I was all the way over on the other side. So I'm like, okay, well, let me drive on over here and get that out the way, and then go on ahead and start my route. And so I saw my car still in the back, I'm like, okay, he must have fell asleep. He probably was tired, took you on to school, went back, and so I called him and I said, you haven't left yet, and he was like, no, I'm on my way out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I said, I'm over here, working, whatever, So I ended up passing the house, because, you could see off of Grant, you could see, far back.
We were right on the corner.
Yeah, you can see far back. You can see the car and everything. So by the time I got up to the house and everything, I passed the house, you had that other little building, and you had the next house. So I got to the third house, and something just kept saying, go back. Go back.
Now wait a minute. I want to pause you, because I think you're not telling the story right. So what I can recall is you saw the car there. You called and you said, "Hey, where are you at?" And he said, "I'm going to get the I'm getting the car done."
He said, "I'm at the emissions."
But you heard the bird in the background.
Thank you for reminding me. I told y'all I've been remembering all that stuff.
You see, I know.
I said,
what I'm talking about.
Okay, thank you for remembering. That was a big part of this.
Yes, we had a bird.
That was a big part of it. We had a cockatoo.
We had that bird since what, 98?
98. October of 98, they begged me for, let's get it. And never
I don't
took care
think I
of it.
begged for a bird.
Actually, for like 32 years or so. Yeah. They last a long time. So you're right. I did. I asked him where was he at, and he said, and he kind of said it low. He said, I'm at the admissions place.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
the bird
it
was chirping in the background.
But I heard the bird, but I was still on my way there,
Right.
and I saw the car.
Right.
That's what it was. Yeah, and I saw the car. And when I got off the phone, I'm like, okay. But I still felt, that's when I felt like, maybe he just didn't want to tell me he was still at the house because in my mind, I'm not looking for nothing. I'm like, okay, he probably tired, went back to sleep, didn't want to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I got to the third house and something was like, back up and go in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm out here on Grand Street. You know, Grand Street, a busy street.
It's a main street.
A main street.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, forget it. So I'm in the mail truck. I back the mail truck up and I go up on the side of the house. And, when you go into the side door, it's the kitchen.
Right.
We had a great big kitchen, you know. It was an island in there and everything. Mm-hmm. So I go in the kitchen and there was a woman sitting at the island. And I'm like,
in my house. No.
And I'm like, well, who is this? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And she had on this like blue jean dress. Easy access girl. So, and I'm sitting here like, what? And there was his phone sitting on. Now, he keep that phone.
He had a clip on his belt buckle where he keep this phone clipped all the time.
Kept his phone on. Now, all of a sudden, the phone's sitting there, So she started trying to have a conversation with me. And I'm like, who are you?
And she said she was his
No. She just started trying to have conversation with me, trying to, so he can get himself together. I guess so, trying. And I'm still sitting here like, now, our house was a ranch style house. So the house ain't that big, but you can't hear me and you heard me coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And he not answering or anything. So when I'm about to go and walk out, to see where he's at here, he come around the corner. And I'm like, what are you doing? Who is this? Now, at this point, I'm looking at him. Remember when he left to take you to school, his shirt was buttoned to his neck.
Mm-hmm.
The buttons was all discombobulated.
They were buttoned
incorrectly.
Yeah.
The belt buckle wasn't fastened.
Oh, Lord.
His shoes was off.
Oh, this just keep getting worse.
So when I asked him, I'm like, well, and who is this? I thought you were supposed to be at the admissions place. Oh, that's my seamstress. I said, yo, who? Now, mind you, it was like 9:00 in the morning. It's 9:00 in the morning. You got a seamstress at our house at 9:00 in the morning. And I said, first of all, you don't have a seamstress. I buy your clothes. I know your sizes. And there's nothing that needs seaming. Well.
No pun intended.
But you are.
That was way too funny to me. I'm sorry.
Get it out.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But what was amazing to me, it's kind of like a week before this, I just prayed. I said, God, I can't do this anymore. I need a way out of this. I need to be free of this because of everything he had been doing. A week later, that's when I catch him. Like to say, you don't have to go out searching for nothing. Pray about it. And I was not looking for this. I wasn't following him. All the times that I would go following, looking, I just walked right on it. And all I did was said, when I get back from work, I expect your things to be packed up and out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out the door, got back in my mail truck, and continued to deliver the mail.
Now, here's where the problem comes in for me. Because he knew this was it. And when this is it, essentially my life is blown up. His life is blown up, right? And so when that happens to people, they, go to their vice, so drinking. And you'll still let this man come pick me up from school.
I went on to work. I wasn't thinking about all of that. This had just happened. My man ain't on, he still got to pick her up from school, or what is he going to do? He wasn't that type of person where he would put anybody in harm or do harm to somebody. He just, and you know that.
He was pretty lit when he picked me up from school.
You got home, didn't you?
I did get home.
Whoop, there it is.
Whew. I guess that's a silver lining.
Whoop, there it is.
So how long before you actually were divorced at that point then?
Oh, girl. When I told him that, I came home after work, and most people would be devastated, and I'm taking off work. I can't finish. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people ask me, and you finished delivering the mail? I said, yeah.
Business as usual.
I didn't go and tell my boss I had a family emergency. I need to leave. I just went back and finished delivering the mail. When I got home, his stuff was still there.
Mm.
So at this point, of course, he's thinking, oh, I'll get out of this one too. I'll just, do the
Let
begging.
her calm down.
Let her calm down, do the begging, buy her something else, get her this, get her that. I'm going to, of course, that was what was going through his head. He ended up sleeping. I think he went to the office. He had an office off 13. Is that where his office
I
was?
just remember the one off 60.
No, he ended up having another one over there, and he ended up staying over there, and I'm like, okay, do you?
So did you pack up all the stuff?
I went and got, let me tell you what I did.
Oh.
I went to Walgreens.
Which is right up the street.
On the corner, Happy and Healthy, whatever it is. And I got the the black bags. I got the good black bags. I'm
heavy duty.
I should have got the real thin ones. When you pick that stuff up, it all just fall everywhere. But no, I got the heavy duties. And I went and I packed the stuff up, put it all by the side door, and I called my locksmith. I got a personal locksmith. Yep. I said, dude, it's like 9:00 at night. I said, do you work this late? He's like, yeah, what you need?
I remember him. Mm-hmm. I went to school with his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He came, changed all the locks. Thank you. And I told him, I'm like, you need to come get your stuff. Hey, I was done. Mm-hmm. Of course, he didn't believe, but I was.
So, in between that time of you putting him out and then actually divorcing,
well, it took a while stuff that for happened the divorce. In between there. It took a while for the divorce because he basically was just saying, I'm gonna make this last as long as it could. He did not want the divorce.
Baby, I love you. Please, I'm on my knees.
Baby, please. So yeah, it was a lot in between there that happened.
I had a dog at the time.
We had Jade.
We had a dog named Jade, and she would be outside for the most part, always like chained up.
Yeah,
sometimes she was.
We had remember got
a
that
gate. Yeah, but sometimes she was inside too. Yeah, but she went missing one day.
We came home. We had went out and we came back home,
and she was missing.
She was out of the gate. Somebody opened the gate, took her out.
She was gone.
She was gone.
And a few hours later, she was back. Like nothing happened.
Because did you go outside to do something? You was like, Ma, Jade is back at the house.
I think she might have just been outside the door.
Yeah, she was at the side door.
She was back.
So he would come around the house and do things. And that was one of the things that he had done. He came and got the dog, took the dog. Maybe he thought I don't know if he was trying to scare us or like we needed him to be in the house or be around, or I don't know what his purpose of that was, but he brought the dog back, or was he wanting me to call him? I don't know. But I did none of the above. So yeah.
Now we had a bird. And one day, the bird's tail was missing. And the feathers were all over the floor. And I find them. And I see this hole in his butt. And it freaked me out. And so I call you screaming and crying. And that happened.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm kind of
This is after the locks were changed.
So when I get home, I see the bird. Yeah, he had taken the bird and plucked all of the feathers, most of the feathers out of the bird. And I guess that's because when I told him, I knew you were at the house because I heard the bird in the background. It's like he faulted the bird for getting him caught.
Now, in his defense, that bird was evil. And my dog did the same thing.
we are not going from here to there.
I'm just saying.
So anyway,
that bird would fly right at you on purpose. Like, what? Is you cool?
Well, I always let the bird fly around. I let the bird fly,
He used to sit on the top of the cage.
He would just sit on top of the cage. I didn't have him like locked up. But anyway, he had went and gotten plucked the bird's feathers and everything. And yeah, but the bird ended up, you could tell, that the bird was in pain because remember he was facing, but the feathers finally grew back and everything. But I knew he had done it because there was another incident where he had left. I think that happened.
Oh.
Because after he did that, and then he left the walking suit that he had got married in. He had pulled it out of the closet.
Oh, okay.
And he left. And he left that out. So now at this point,
I'm laying on the bed.
I'm like, the bird. Yeah. Okay, he's been in here. He's done this. So at this point, I'm like, I got all the locks changed. So I went around the house and I started checking the windows. He made sure when he left out, he unlocked one of the windows where he could climb in the window on the side of the house to get in.
Well, and Jason used to leave his windows open all the time.
Right. But this window was over there in the living room, not off 21st on the other side. Right, so that's how he was getting in and out. So he made sure he had left one of the windows undone to get in and out of the house. So that's how he was coming in, still doing stuff.
Well,
we'll continue on the next episode.
I mean, I just feel like this one we wrap up with the divorce took a long time.
Well, there was some other stuff,
but it happened. Oof, Jesus. I'm over it.
Continue to love, have faith, live, laugh, all of the above. God can do all things. Just ask for a little help.